My lord? Okay. We have the guy who looks incredibly like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII here. You? Who are you? Madeline Valois, my lord. Valet to Wales. What is he doing here? He's a prince. He should be dancing with the nobles and assembled below. Could the man be, of all things, lost in his own palace? Own palace? Ah. Figures, I suppose. Or he could be a retiring emo type who just likes to dwell around corners and hope someone will, like, go up to him and, you know, get him laid. Cough, Sarah Campbell. Do you need something, my lord? Nothing you could provide for me. The poisonous edge of his dismissal makes me wonder what, exactly, he thought I was offering. As I have failed to respond, he presses on. Are you on some errand? My time is my own at the moment, my lord. Then why are you here? What is the world coming to when a servant cannot have privacy from her betters even in the back hall, spying on other princes? It is a complete breach of decorum for him to set foot here at all. He shouldn't be challenging me about it. Inarguably rude though his question is, he is a member of the royal family, and I am a guest in his home. I am observing, my lord. Like the little cinder girl watching and dreaming of what she can never have. I beg your pardon? Guest or not, that was just too far. No desire to be a princess, but then you must be a noblewoman's daughter in your own land. Younger daughter. And if misfortune favours the succession, it would fall for you. Better than... They're hinting heavily about where we're going to get this estate from, aren't they? Better that than a younger son, the one left over when everyone tires of matchmaking. We can't choose how we're born, one would think. There's a saying in America, so I've heard, and it's when there's two children. There's the heir and the spare. See, that's Prince Charles and Prince Harry, and that's English monarchy for you. You can thank me later, it's fine. Anyway, my lord, you might be a king one day. That's not an option for me. Indeed. I suppose I shouldn't have said that much, but something about the man gets under my skin. Apart from his hands. So, if not envy and not an errand, what's your game? I am keeping watch over my prince, as is my responsibility. At least, I was before you began interrogating me for no reason. Ouch. Whoa! We're about to be put in a cell. His only answer is a snort, before he leans forward to place his own eye on one of the peepholes overlooking the ballroom. Well, dutiful spy, it seems you have nothing to worry about. There may even be wedding bells in the future. What? I plastered myself to the wall and frantically scanned the dancers below. Oh. Oh. Come on. Ah, there he is. That's bad news for me, and considering all I've said, that's quite bad. Oscar, his hair glittering in the light of the chandeliers, and a young woman in his arms, Princess Cassidy. She's smiling at him. They look happy. Oh, she's aghast and disgusted by this. Oh, God. I really don't like giving off how posh I am, but when I use words like aghast, you might get an idea. So middle class. Anyway, of course they look happy. They're royalty. They've been trained to be dazzlingly polite in all circumstances. She'll dance with all her suitors. That's why they're here. It's nothing. She places her hand in his, tilts her head. She laughs and his eyes answer. They walk together towards the edge of the dance floor, strolling like lovers. What if I was wrong? What if they're a perfect match? If she chose him, Oscar would not hesitate to do his duty, regardless of any childish infatuations. Even the letter, he knew as he wrote that it meant nothing. Wow, this girl changes ideas pretty quickly. He so much as said that confessing gave him closure. It allowed him to put Saul behind him, never to be mentioned again. There are no obstacles in his path. If he chose him, here... I thought it said if he chose him. I was like, wait, what? If she chose him, here and now, that would be that. He would leave, and I would be... I stepped back from the sight, intending to make my apologies to Prince Callum, but he is nowhere to be seen. He must have left while I was distracted. I shouldn't have come up here. I expected to see Oscar bumbling innocently along like the little boy he was when we met. I wanted to reassure myself that nothing had changed. Then, I was in control, older and wiser like always. Are we going to find Prince Callum now and shag him? Because that would be one hell of a twist, wouldn't it? I was not ready to face the idea that he might not need me anymore. Oh, I returned to our rooms, too distracted to choose an adventurous route. How could he do this? Of course he could do this, that's why we came here. But he only this evening sent me that letter. You know what, this girl from saying, oh well, we'll just let him get on with it, we can't do anything. Wait, what, he's done something? Preposterous, what a bastard! He changed his moods quite quickly. But who knows when he wrote it? Before he met her, certainly. Days, weeks ago it could have been, old news. I have no right to feel betrayed. I've told him dozens of times that we are nothing but friends. It's only natural for him to respond to a pleasant young princess who might be interested in him. I must stay calm. In all likelihood, I don't get why sometimes the thoughts appear there and then sometimes they appear in that little speech bubble down there. I don't understand. In all likelihood, this will come to nothing. The princess is a sheltered young woman enjoying the intentions being paid to her. But she's also an heiress who has been raised to her responsibilities. Perhaps Cassidy and Oscar might come to an understanding in time, but her family would insist that she meet others first. Even if they were swept away by some mad passion and declared an engagement on the spot, which would be an incredible scandal, it would take months to organise a formal wedding. Disaster is not imminent. I have to believe that. Still, one thing is clear to me. I have to be complacent. I have not planned ahead. Sooner or later, I will lose my position with Oscar. Did I say Oscar beforehand? I just realised that. God knows. And I need to think about what to do next. I don't like it, but not liking something doesn't stop it from happening. I have to face this. I do have to just point out now very quickly that if I do mispronounce a word and say Oscar instead of Oscar, that's not me being posh. It's, as many people know, I'm fluent in Spanish. And sometimes I read a word and, you know, read it out as if it was Spanish. Right, that's over. Let's do that now. Onwards we go. There are no other princes in Ossendawar. Wales! No, Wales! Not Ossendawar, Wales! But there is no shortage of young men. If I am credited with polishing Oscar for a prestigious match, mothers may want to entrust their sons to me. Or even younger children. I've had enough education to pass for a tutor if I must. Such a role would give me a new home and security for a time, at least. There are benefits to having worked within the palace for so many years. Someone may wish to employ me on the basis of what and whom I know. And there are my other skills. Yeah. Hello. Although I prefer not to rely on them. One who lives by the blade tends to die by it as well. Well, she could be kinky. No, never. Not that. Not returning to my family's hearth. Hearth? Better to starve with dignity. I can't believe it could come to that. How could I have let this happen? I knew my love with Oscar couldn't last. I told myself that I was being the wise one. That I was focusing on what was most important and not letting myself be distracted. Dear Lord! She is coming to a conclusion very goddamn quickly. Apparently wisdom and blindness look so similar that I couldn't tell the difference. No, I will not panic. Everything will be alright. I have time. Once we are in our room... Country again? Same thing. It's like our own backyard. It's fine. Oh, dear Lord, a frog in my throat. I will set aside my wages. I will work harder at being sociable and making connections within the court. It is never too late to make a good beginning. Perhaps, if Oscar marries well, their majesties will see fit to reward me. I am an adult now. I have earned their trust. They might have a new position in mind, with royal support and a higher pay rate. I would be able to make a home for myself. And then, with security and a place of my own, I could consider personal matters. Love, family, all the things I can't have now. A real future at last. Oscar marrying Cassidy could be the best thing that ever happens to me. But even I wouldn't believe myself if I claimed I would not miss him. You know what? We can't go for Oscar. Come on. I've never gone for someone conventional in a dating sim, and I'm buggered if I'm about to start. Right, I am drawn from my contemplations by a strange sound, or perhaps an absence of sound. I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't something that I'd registered on a conscious level, but I've been trained to respond to changes in my surroundings. Something is wrong. Although, if I can hear very quietly, I can hear very, very, faint speech. I might be wrong, though. I rise and I walk to stand beside the door on the opposite side from the direction it opens. If someone or something burst through the door, I would not be struck in the face. Great. There's a now you can hear the speeches as well, hopefully. It just picked up a noise. There's a rumble in the distance. A hubbub that can't be silenced by solid walls and thick carpeting. And it's growing. Heavy footsteps. The clash of metal. A fist hammering on the door. Open up in the name of the king! What's going on? The princess has been kidnapped by your master. What? Oh, Oscar, what have you done? What? 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 But that makes no sense! How does that make sense? Oh dear, I think we've seen this, yeah. Let's skip that. What? How does that make any sense? What? Why would... I'm sure there's an explanation for it. Taking out of my dolphin pitch there. Now again, the presentation hall is filled with guests and guards, more than before and far less friendly. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. It was dark. Oscar has not, in fact, eloped with the princess in a fit of madness. He is here, bruised, dirty and scratched, and alone. Oh my god, we have the emo fucking answer to Sherlock Holmes next to him. What the fuck is that? Oh dear. And then royalty, the queen mother. Right, anyway, according to the guards, he was discovered lying senseless under a rosebush. Of Cassidy, there was no sign. You spirited her into the gardens and out of sight, my little baby! It was her idea. Pull yourself together, boy, and speak respectfully. That is Duke Ferrod the Disliked. I can't think that's his real title. I imagine that as he entered the room. Hello, this is Duke Ferrod the Disliked. You'd know who to stay away from. Definitely when the room gets dark. And on first impressions I cannot say that I'm fond of him either. He is a pale man whose lips draw together in a pinched expression. His clothing, though well tailored, is too sombre for the festive occasion and this anniversary that it was meant to be. And his voice snaps like switch ill-bred gentlemen wield on their servants. Oscar looks back at the Duke, his lips curling slightly. Then, with a small shake of his head, he draws himself to full height. Her Highness wished to show me that the Alba Rose is in the moonlight. She told me that the garden was enclosed on all sides. There did not seem to be any danger. You were not satisfied with monopolizing the princess's public attentions. You wish to press your suit in the shadows. Oh. No. Fuck off, Prince Gaston. We've already established that girls don't like you. So yeah, fuck off. I would never have pressed her into anything. We were looking at the flowers and talking, nothing more. And then I felt a pain in my head. In my head. I tried to turn and something wrapped around my neck. That's all I know. Like any prince, Oscar had been trained in the art of war, but in his case, it is more of an art than a practical defense. He is passable with a sword in the context of a formal duel. With a firearm, he can strike a close-range target so long as neither he or nor it is moving. A dishonourable opponent in hand-to-hand could take him down easily. Wow, that's not, being too skilled with a firearm. He could take down a close-range target as long as neither him or the opponent was moving. Oh dear. He'd be terrible in war. I didn't hurt Cassidy and I don't know where she is. Please, don't waste time asking me questions. We have to find her. It is terribly convenient that you were alone in the dark, out of sight. It was you, wasn't it, you bastard? It has to be you. You're evil. Look, your expression is the same as your face as it is down there in the bottom left. It just has to be you. How fortunate for you that you were completely unharmed by this mysterious assault. What? And, of course, when you are able to find and rescue her, you claim her hand as your reward. Are you saying that I made that all up? That's mad. They're turning on him. I have to do something. Your Majesties, may I speak? Go ahead. Wow, they're like a servant speak. That's odd. Everyone who saw them knew that Oscar and Cassidy were pleased with each other. Surely, of all the princes, he would be the least likely to try such a thing. Are you accusing us of petty jealousy? No, I'm accusing you of not having a fashion sense. But, that aside, petty jealousy is on there as well. Of course not, my lord. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. That would be a quick way to make an enemy. I have to be careful what I say. If someone did scheme to kidnap the princess in order to force her into marriage, it probably wouldn't be a man who had a good chance of winning her without it. The benefit would not be worth the risk. A clever way to avoid suspicion. If there's a plot, then someone has something to gain. Something that's worth risking their life to get. So who benefits? All of a sudden the king's wisdom goes pale, clutching at her husband's arm for support. I cannot guess what thought has occurred to her, but I must press forward my point while I can. As my lord has suggested, I believe that it is important to locate her enlightened highness as soon as possible, before whoever is behind this has a chance to cause further mischief. Naturally, I cannot tell a king what he must or even should do, but I am a noble woman's daughter, even if a low-ranked one. It is not improper to make a suggestion, particularly when the credit is placed upon worthier lips. Oh, yeah, I see them. Indeed. So, who went white with... Who went white? Was it the young queen, the queen mother, or the emo's answer to Sherlock Holmes? Because he's always white. Oh well. His gaze sweeps the room. Okay, so it's the emo's answer to Sherlock Holmes. You will all be escorted to your rooms under guard. I have done nothing! I will not be treated... You are being treated like an honoured guest. Your chambers will remain private, and you will remain within them. All of you, including you, Farod. Your Majesty, I assure you, I want to help with the search. Be quiet, both of you! As far as I'm concerned, you are the prime suspects. Or it could be her. Oh wow, that's a guy. Huh. Don't... Come on, it looked like a woman. Cut me some slack here. Someone would have pointed it out beforehand in the comments beforehand. I already know. Right, you will return to your rooms and stay there, and pray that my daughter is found unharmed. Oh, Oscar, you never did learn when it was best to avoid being noticed. As he's heard my thoughts, he turns to look at me. When his eyes fall upon the amber stone at my neck, a tiny smile warms his face. And then the guards come for us both. This is bad, very bad. If the princess isn't found quickly and the word leaks out, all of Guelinor will be in chaos. If she has been kidnapped with the intention of forcing her into marriage, or worse, killed... Wait, am I being put in a bedroom alone with Oscar? It doesn't seem like the most mischievous and evil of things to do, but sure. There hasn't been a true war between civilized lands in a century. The repercussions could bring destruction beyond imagining. And if the blame of such a disaster were placed on Oscar, his family might, well, give up him. What? Well, give him up. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Rather than risk open war on his behalf. Even if the matter is resolved peacefully, the scandal could ruin him. It goes without saying that my own fate in such a circumstance would be far worse. Cassidy must be found as soon as possible, which means sneaking out of the room. Got it. The guards escort us to our rooms. It's going to be that other bloke who wasn't with them. It's got to be. Well, I don't remember their names. It's all princes and princesses to me, but the one who looks like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. The bloke with the dark blue tank top and white hair. It has to be him. He was roaming free, for fuck's sake. Where he should have not have been. Oh dear. The guards escort us to our rooms. And true to the king's word, they do not follow us inside. Within those walls, it would seem, our territory is still sovereign. Of course, I don't intend to remain within that protection. I can't rely on the local palace guard to solve this mystery. Not with so much at stake. Therefore, once the door has closed, I begin changing my gloves and shoes into something more appropriate. Or at least, more suitable for getting around unobserved. You're going out, aren't you? Don't worry, everything will be alright. You're in a room alone with Oscar. Just come on. Get the rightful thing out of the way, and then you can go. Clearly not. Wait, don't go yet. Can we talk, please? The look in his eyes is hard to face. Between the letter and the dance and the attack, he must be feeling torn to pieces. I know he's upset, but the fact remains that every minute now could make the difference. Stay and talk, leave immediately. You know what, if I stay with him, he's going to be ruined and end up with me anyway. So, I feel I've got to leave immediately. Because, come on, we just have to. Or shall we? You know what, fuck it, I'm going to let you guys decide. I know, it's a really lame way of doing it, but I'm too scared to. So it should be fine. You guys decide what you want me to do. We can either stay and talk or leave immediately. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.